Imagine biting into a burger soaked in ammonia, mixed with pink slime, and packed with preservatives. That patty likely contains the DNA of hundreds of cows. And your bun? Fluffed with a chemical used to make yoga mats. So, what's really inside your McDonald's hamburger? McDonald's claims its hamburgers are made from 100% pure beef. Sounds reassuring, right? Yeah, until you realize that doesn't mean much. That 100% pure beef phrase is like a magician's trick. Now you see it, now you don't. It leaves out a lot of the unsavory details, like how the beef is sourced, processed, and pumped full of questionable additives. Let's break it down. So, what kind of beef are we dealing with here? In reality, the beef used in McDonald's hamburgers comes from a mishmash of trimmings and cuts that wouldn't make it into your grandma's stew. Think about the parts of a cow no one really wants: cartilage, fat, connective tissue. It's like the cow equivalent of cleaning out the junk drawer in your kitchen. Oh, and don't forget the bones, because what's better than having tiny bone fragments ground up into your burger patty? The average McDonald's patty contains beef from not one, not two, but hundreds of cows. It's like a cow reunion happening in your burger. Now, if you've ever wondered where McDonald's gets all this meat, buckle up. The company sources its beef from industrial farms, where cows live out their short, miserable lives in cramped, dirty feedlots, surrounded by mountains of their own manure. These cows are raised on a diet of corn and soy, cheap, fattening foodstuffs designed to bulk them up quickly. Because what's more cost-efficient than feeding cows? The kind of diet that destroys their digestive systems. Add in a heavy dose of antibiotics to keep these sickly animals alive just long enough to get them to the slaughterhouse, and you've got yourself the beginnings of a McDonald's burger patty. Around 80% of all antibiotics sold in the US are fed to livestock. You're not just getting beef, you're getting a side of pharmaceuticals. These feedlots aren't exactly known for their cleanliness. Picture this: thousands of cows crammed together, walking through their own waste, which, by the way, contains more than just poop. We're talking E. coli, salmonella, and the occasional "oops, that cow's sick" situation. That's why they have to blast your future burger with ammonia, because it turns out, if you raise animals in filth, their meat tends to get contaminated with all kinds of nasty bacteria. During slaughterhouse processing, it's not uncommon for fecal matter to contaminate the meat. Yes, you heard that right. Your burger might contain more than just beef. Ever heard of pink slime? Well, you're probably about to eat it. This delightful concoction, officially called lean, finely textured beef, is processed beef treated with ammonia to extend its shelf life and make sure it doesn't kill you with bacterial infections. McDonald's claimed they've stopped using pink slime, but rumors die hard, and when you look at that suspiciously uniform patty, you have to wonder, how much of this is actually beef, and how much is just a science experiment? McDonald's once bought over 3 billion pounds of pink slime. That's a lot of goo for something that's supposed to be beef, don't you think? But let's not just blame McDonald's here. They're just one cog in the gigantic industrial meat machine. The truth is, this whole system is designed to churn out meat as cheaply and quickly as possible. Cows are treated like disposable products, with their health and welfare sacrificed in the name of efficiency. Factory farming is less about raising animals, and more about turning them into units of production. How fast can we fatten them up, and how little can we spend on keeping them alive? Let's not forget the journey from the feedlot to your plate. After the cows are sent off to slaughterhouses, they're processed at lightning speed, with meat being hacked, packed, and shipped before you can say, "Hold the pickles." We're talking about industrial slaughterhouses that process thousands of animals a day, often with such speed that safety and hygiene take a back seat. All right, let's talk chemicals, because no McDonald's burger would be complete without a good old dose of lab-borne enhancements. Remember that fresh, appetizing smell you get when you unwrap a McDonald's hamburger? Yeah, that's not natural. Welcome to the world of artificial flavors, because the real meat taste got lost somewhere between the slaughterhouse and the ammonia treatment. Here's a fun one. Cellulose. Ever wonder what keeps that burger patty from falling apart? Cellulose is basically powdered wood pulp, added to processed foods as a cheap filler. That's right, folks. McDonald's is sneaking tiny bits of tree into your burger. Cellulose is also used in the production of paper and insulation. So next time you're eating that burger, think of it as a well-balanced meal with a side of lumber. Next up on this delightful menu is sodium phosphate. This isn't just for keeping your laundry white. In your burger, sodium phosphate keeps the meat juicy. Because nothing screams quality like a moisture retention chemical that also doubles as a laxative. Sodium phosphate used in burgers is also found in products like detergents and cleaning agents. Feeling fresh yet? And let's not forget sodium nitrate. You know, that thing that gives your burger that beautiful pink color? Well, it's also used to preserve dead bodies, because who doesn't want a little bit of embalming fluid in their meal? Sodium nitrate keeps the meat looking fresh, even though it's far from it. What about preservatives? Oh, they're in there. BHT and BHA are two chemicals McDonald's uses to extend the shelf life of its food. These chemicals are more commonly used in jet fuel and embalming fluid. Yum. Now let's move on to the bun, the part that holds this chemical fiesta together. The McDonald's hamburger bun isn't just flour, water, and yeast, my friend. Oh no, that would be far too simple and, dare I say, wholesome. Instead, it's a chemistry lesson in a soft, golden package. Ever heard of azotocarbonamide? It's a chemical used in the production of yoga mats and synthetic leather. Azotocarbonamide is banned in Europe and Australia, but don't worry. Here in the US, it's A-OK in your bread and your yoga mat. 2-for-1 deal. And let's not forget the high fructose corn syrup that's baked into every McDonald's bun. Why? Well, because sugar is addictive, and nothing keeps you coming back for more burgers like a nice hit of glucose. McDonald's has been criticized for using high fructose corn syrup in just about everything, from the buns to the ketchup. It's like they're running a side business in glucose addiction. Now, on to the condiments. You've got your ketchup, mustard, pickles. Simple, right? Wrong. Even the condiments are a battlefield of preservatives and artificial flavors. Take McDonald's ketchup, for example. It's got corn syrup and more high fructose corn syrup. Because why stop at just one sugar when you can have two? And let's not forget the xanthan gum to make sure it stays nice and gooey, even after sitting in a squeeze bottle for months on end. And those pickles? Oh, those bright green crunchy delights? They're soaked in a brine of calcium chloride, a chemical commonly found in de-icing agents. Nothing like a little antifreeze in your burger to keep things cool. Let's not forget where all this magic starts. The feedlots. These industrial-scale operations are less like farms and more like animal prisons, where cows are packed together so tightly they can barely move. They're fed an unnatural diet of corn and soy, which makes them fatten up faster, but also wreaks havoc on their digestive systems. Over 50% of the world's antibiotics are given to farm animals. It's not just beef you're eating. Think of it as a pharmaceutical experiment in patty form. These cows are pumped full of antibiotics to keep them from getting sick in these miserable conditions. And those antibiotics? Yeah, they end up in your food too. And it's not just the antibiotics that are concerning. It's the hormones too. Many of these cows are injected with growth hormones to speed up the fattening process. Growth hormones used in cattle have been linked to early puberty in humans. Who needs nature when you've got a fast track to adulthood via a hamburger? Now, let's take a quick detour into the environmental destruction caused by your tasty McDonald's burger. Cows are notorious methane machines, and methane is a greenhouse gas that's about 30 times more potent than carbon dioxide. So every time you chow down on that quarter pounder, you're contributing to the slow, steady cooking of the planet. And then there's the deforestation. Millions of acres of rainforest are destroyed every year to make way for cattle grazing and soy production. The soy is fed to the cows, not to you, of course. Every time you eat a burger, you're also contributing to the destruction of 150 square feet of rainforest. Welcome to deforestation in a bun. Oh, and let's not forget the vast swathes of land needed to grow all that corn and soy to feed those cows. Industrial farming devastates ecosystems, pollutes waterways with pesticides, and depletes the soil. The production of just one McDonald's burger requires about 660 gallons of water. That's the equivalent of taking 60 showers. Let's talk about what happens when you make McDonald's a regular part of your diet. We all know it's not exactly health food, but what are the real risks? First off, you've got heart disease, thanks to all that saturated fat, cholesterol, and sodium. Americans consume over 50 billion burgers each year. That's a lot of clogged arteries and a lot of fast food-induced regrets. Then there's diabetes. With all the sugar hiding in that bun, ketchup, and other ingredients, you're basically signing up for a one-way ticket to insulin injections. Add in the obesity epidemic, fueled in part by fast food, and you've got a perfect storm of health disasters. Oh, and let's not forget the cancer risk. Processed meats, like those in your McDonald's burger, have been classified as carcinogens by the World Health Organization. Processed meats are linked to 18% higher cancer risks, particularly colorectal cancer. So your burger might be doing more than clogging your arteries. It's staging a silent invasion of your cells. But the real kicker? It's the addictiveness. McDonald's food is engineered to keep you coming back for more. Between the sugar, the fat, and the salt, it's like a culinary black hole. Once you're in, it's hard to escape. Fast food chains like McDonald's rely on the bliss point, a perfect combination of sugar, salt, and fat that makes their food as addictive as possible. Ah, the pièce de résistance, McDonald's special sauce. You might think it's just a tangy mix of mayo and ketchup, but you'd be wrong. It's actually a mix of industrial magic, complete with preservatives, stabilizers, and a dash of, what is that even doing in food? One serving of McDonald's special sauce has more preservatives than fresh ingredients. Want some synthetic magic on your burger? Now, you might be asking yourself, why does McDonald's go through all this trouble to turn a cow into a science project? The answer is simple: profit. It's cheaper to pump your burger full of preservatives and chemicals than to use high-quality, fresh ingredients. McDonald's is feeding billions, and if that means sacrificing a few taste buds, and probably a few years off your life, then so be it. As long as you keep buying it, they'll keep serving it up with a smile. So there you have it, folks. The next time you unwrap that McDonald's hamburger, just remember, it's not just a burger. It's a masterpiece of modern food engineering, complete with enough chemicals to make your high school science teacher proud. You're not just eating beef, you're eating an entire laboratory's worth of preservatives, additives, and fillers, all in one bite. Delicious, right? McDonald's sells about 75 hamburgers per second. That's about 6.5 million burgers a day. Clearly, they've cracked the code for mass-producing addictive food. Now, if you're still craving that burger, go ahead and enjoy it. Just remember, ignorance is bliss until it's not. And if you want more eye-opening food breakdowns, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more.